Hi, so this is just a recap of the lesson we did in class in case A, kids were absent, B, a parent or a teacher wanted to review the material, or C, if you just wanted to go over it again. So I'm just going to recap. All right, so this is the homepage of the high school library, and there's some things that you should know. One is this navigation menu is pretty important. That Moodle is going to get replaced with Schoology. 2 is you can text your research questions to the library. And 3, this little widget is super important. You'll get to know a little bit about it today. And the other thing is this MLA 8 help page is going to be very, very helpful to you, as is this bibliography feedback, which means that basically if you do a bibliography for any class and you want to submit it to us for review ahead of time, we'll give you a score that will go nowhere but between you and us. And it's a really great way to sort of perfect your bibliography before you get it to your teacher and you're actually getting scored points on it. So that's one thing. All right, so we are going to go to this red square called the annex. And this is where we will put all of our resources for research from now until you graduate from this high school. So yes, the red square, the annex, is a very important destination. You should know about it. So we click on this, and it is currently broken down by quarter and content and content area, so subject. So this is a social studies lesson. So we're going to go to social studies row and quarter 1, and we are going to find is geography destiny. Now the complicated thing about the project you guys are working on is it's the second version of is geography destiny. We had some other students who worked on it a couple of weeks ago. So yours is called B just because it came second in the quarter, not for any other reason. But you are working on is geography destiny B. You will know this because at the top of the lesson it will say Bacon and Schwartz, and those are the 2 teachers who are teaching this version. So make sure that when you open the link that you actually have your teacher's name on it. So this is called Libguides, and we put all of our resources in Libguides. It is very tab driven, so you can see that your assignment is the first tab. So under your assignment, we are going to look at your actual assignment. It's embedded into there, but if you wanted to get an actual copy in a Google Doc, you can click on that link and it will take you there. So there is your actual assignment. It's based on 2 articles that you have read. These are both linked here. So here's the Acemoglu article as a Google Doc, and here's the Jeffrey Sachs article as a PDF. You would need to be signed in to Google with your @ncpsk12.org in order to access those. Those are only accessible to students within the domain. And then we kind of created a sort of a breakdown of the argument. So this is a screenshot. You can actually go to the original document that we created here, but it gives you an idea of the 2 arguments sort of in a nutshell in a table. So those are all helpful resources for you to better understand your assignment. The next tab is use this source, and that means nothing other than use this source. All right, so don't go Google it, don't go to Wikipedia. That is not what this assignment is about. You have one source to use, this one source, and this is it. So the easiest way to access it is here because you're already here, but if you don't want to have to come back to this spot, we're going to show you how to access it a different way. So yes, this is the source, and I would need to be signed into Google to get there. But what we're going to do instead is I'm going to walk you through the steps in this little slideshow. So the easiest way to get to our databases, any database we have, including this one source that you're going to use for this project, is to just put any old thing. I mean, I put a period in because it's right there and it's easy. So I put a period and then you click the search button or you click the return key. You will need to be signed into your @ncpsk12.org Google account before you do this, otherwise it's going to ask you to do it again. If you're signed into a different Google account somewhere in that browser on that user profile, then you're going to get a big fat 404 error message. So make sure if you get that message, it means that you're signed into the wrong Google account. Once you arrive on the landing page, which takes a moment because it's doing some hard work there, it's going to basically put you in this platform that you see in a GIF on the left-hand side of your screen. And it's what I want you guys to do is scroll through that menu of linked databases on the right-hand side and choose Global Issues in Context. Okay? Once you get there, the first thing you need to do is sign in with Google. And there's a very important reason why you need to do that. So just click on the sign in with Google. It will automatically process. It might ask you to put your password in again, but I think if you're here, you've already signed into Google, so it should just push you through. And then in a minute, it's going to say, hi, and then your first name. All right, so now, okay, that was it, right? You had to get to this important place and you got there, and so now what do you do, right? That's the next big question. Okay, so the now what do you do part is really just as important as getting there, right? So we have these two arguments. We have the Jeffrey Sachs argument as geography poverty that states that geography really does determine your destiny. And then we have the other argument by Acemoglu that says, well, actually, it's really not geography at all. That's just a myth. What it is instead is, and it gives a list of 7 possibilities or possible contributing factors. That's the argument on the left. So let's say, just for the sake of argument, I'm really fascinated by this first argument that says a reversal in fortune has something to do with the way an area was colonized. All right, so they were doing all right, and then they weren't doing all right. What caused that? Colonization. Wait, what's colonization? So I just want to make sure that we understand what colonization is. One is, basically a country was doing its own thing. It was free. And then another country took over and ran it for a while. That's colonization in a nutshell. This is a very oversimplified version. And then ultimately, if colonization is over, there was an independence movement. Very often it's triggered by a revolution, but not always. So the original residents overthrew the occupying government. That would be the case. So Acemoglu's argument is that somewhere between colonization and independence came this one, something went wrong in that transition, and therefore the country that was doing okay in the first place back when it was free is not doing okay now. All right, so let's say I start to type independence into our one source that we can use for this project. Autocomplete is great because just by typing independence, it's going to give me some incidences where I might look at an independence movement that is going on right now in the world. Interesting. I'm going to ask that you do something that is completely counterintuitive to everything you've ever done before, because yes, it suggests that it's a little bit harder, and it is a little bit harder, but actually by being a little bit harder at first, it makes it a lot easier in the long run. So I'm going to ask you guys to click on the advanced search, right? Okay, so wow, what is happening here? Your teachers, Dr. Schwartz and Ms. Bacon, sat down last week on Friday, and they put together a list of really good search terms for you guys. Only we kind of messed with them. They look weird here, so let's talk a little bit about why. There's ands and ors for just a minute. So those ands and ors are something called Boolean Logic, so you'll note that our friend Leon is going to walk us through what that means. So if you use the word and put it in all capital letters in your search, what it's going to do, it's going to look for articles that have both words in it at the same time. So it gives you actually a narrower range of results. So burger and fries have to be in there. But if you use or instead of and, you're going to get much bigger results because it will give you all the articles that have the word burger plus all the articles that have the word fries, plus all the articles that have both words in it. Not is actually quite useful. I use it not for burgers and fries as much as I use it to eliminate book reviews from my search results. So if I do not review, it will take out all the instances that have the word review in the title of the article. So that can be really helpful. So burger, not fries. Got it? And remember, that little ghost is there for a reason. His name is Leon, and this is Boolean searching. All right, so now that explains the ands and yours, but there's also something else that's very weird about this list. There are little asterisks everywhere. What is an asterisk and why use it? Well, first of all, how do you make an asterisk? Shift+8. What does it do? It searches for the root of the word, and anything that follows it is okay. So instead of writing separately geographic, geographer, geography, it just put in geograph with an asterisk, and it will search for all of those words. Religio with an asterisk is another good one. We're looking for religious and religion. That's very helpful, and you can see that there are a number of other examples on this page. All right, I went to the advanced search, which gives me all these little boxes. So my ands and ors, my Boolean logic, are on the left. You can choose, toggle between ands and ors. We have enter our search terms, and we're just searching for keywords for now. I kept it pretty simple. These are my results. This is what basically a results page looks like on the left. And this is one of the things I love about this source, okay? There are two things that are really big. One is this landing page will give me basically resources that will carry me through the whole research process. So starting from I wonder what colonization is, to how did colonization impact the GDP in Kosovo back in the 90s? Very specific question. So literally I can go from wonder all the way down to basically writing a thesis statement, which is really at the end of synthesize, and with this one page of results, because it's very well organized. So at the top I have an overview. Right under that I have a horizontal gray area that has all of these, basically it's a menu of all the resources that are available in my search results. So the thing that I'm saying is that, your reference is up here in the wonder, but then the images and primary sources are what you're going to use all the way down here, where you can do some really detailed analysis. So we all share in common a favorite reference tool. So it would be, do you want to guess what it is? It's Wikipedia. We're not going to use that source for today, but there are plenty of reference materials, so encyclopedias like that in this tool, in Global Issues in Context. So we're going to choose that reference option just when you're getting started to get an understanding of what it is that you're searching for. But the truth is, you're searching for an article. And so really what you're going to focus on are magazines, news articles, and academic journals. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to lie, academic journals are going to be harder to read than the news magazines and the newspapers and the magazine articles. That's because they're designed for college students and college professors, and they're written at sort of a college level. But they also will have more detail than the magazines and newspapers. So depending on your comfort zone, that might be an excellent resource for you to use. But I am going to say that the reading will be a little bit tougher. One thing I do not want you to use at all are viewpoint essays. That is not what you have a very specific mission here. You're going to find a news article or an academic article or a magazine article that substantiates one of the two arguments, either Jeffrey Sachs's or the Acemoglu article. So you don't use a viewpoint essay. I want you to use news articles for that. All right, so that was the first thing. I really like the menu, and I like that this can be a one-stop shop for all of your searching throughout the research process. The other thing that I really, really love about this source is that it integrates beautifully with Google Drive. So here's what happens. Let's say I like this article. Frankly, for our purposes, this is a little bit short. It's 573 words. You won't find enough meat in it to substantiate the argument you're trying to substantiate. So I'm going to recommend that you start at 700 words. This is a little bit short. So if you chose this article, just saying, you have some features across the top that are super handy. One is it will translate it for you. 2, it will change the font size. 3, it will read it to you. It's not a really conversational, fun voice to listen to. It's pretty computer generated, but it will read it to you, and that is a plus. On the right-hand side, you will have more like this. So let's say your article is only 353 words long, and you need a 700-word article. So why don't you check out what's under more like this to see if you can find some more substantive articles. At the top, it will have a cite button that will bring up a window that will have a citation for you. And then that magic button, the one I'm most excited about, is that Google Drive button, because if you click on that Google Drive button, it's going to bring you to, it's going to pop up a window saying, hey, we sent it to Google Drive. And you're like, what? So yeah, they send it to Google Drive. And it looks like this. They actually make a folder for you in your Google Drive. It's bright orange. It will say Global Issues in Context. And in that folder, they will dump the document that you've been working on. Now, when you first open it, it's going to be in PDF form, which means that you can't do a whole lot with it except read it. But if you click on Open with Google Docs, then it will become a regular Google Doc, and you can scroll to the bottom, and right at the bottom, guess what? There is your citation. So that's pretty cool. All right, so I'm going to get out of the slideshow. We've given you, not only have I walked you through the steps, but I've provided this slideshow with all of those steps right here, plus a movie is going to go here, so that you can go back over anything you need to go for. The next tab is Citing Sources. Now, when I first talked to Ms. Bacon and Dr. Schwartz about this project, one of the things we propose is, well, you know, it's our first time making a bibliography. Maybe it would be easier if we just made a Google form and had them enter the parts of the bibliography in that. So that's what this is. So put in your first name, your last name, choose your teacher, choose a period, you meet with that teacher, and then we have the 9 elements of a bibliography. And you just enter whatever it is. But it might not be clear to you right off the bat. Let's say, what does this mean? Where was your source found? What's the website name or name of a magazine? If you need more information, just click on the hyperlink and it will take you to a document that explains what that thing is. It will give you a couple of examples. And then there's a related comment in most cases, and then there's a video tutorial. So if you click on that and you go to the video, it literally walks you through what is a container. And this is a set of videos that we put together. And so this will walk you through how to figure out what a container is. And that's what we call that element. So it's pretty well spelled out. It can be really simple, or if you want more information, you can get it. And if you want even more information than that, you can get that too. Okay, so there are 9 elements to a bibliography. So if you've entered all the parts and click submit, then you can access that. Okay. The next thing is I've given you a sample bibliography. Now, 2 of the sources you're using, we've already established, are Jeffrey Sachs and Darren Acemoglu. So those 2 items are already cited. And then I added the other article that I went and found. When you're doing your own bibliography, you're going to have the exact same thing, except that one article in the middle there will be different. So if you want to use this, you can. Just click on that. Now for you, I own this, so I can edit it, but for you, it's going to say view only. It's okay. You can just go to File, and you can make a copy. You can make a copy of it, and then just rename it and make it your own. And then you can just swap out the part that doesn't apply to you. So you're obviously going to take out this article, and you're going to put in a different article that you've used. And how are you going to create that citation? Well, remember that if we're looking at this article here, we can scroll to the bottom and we can find the citation. So that might be the source you use. This is what I said about an academic journal article being a little bit harder. There are their sources. You want to go all the way down to where it says source citation. And here is a source citation, so you can copy that and you can paste it into your research, into your bibliography. So that would be your other source. So that can be very helpful. Also, we have a guide, an MLA 8 help page that most students find very helpful, but these are the 9 elements of your citation. If you click on any one of these help buttons, it will take you to a video. The video playlist is right here, and then this is really an essential video for you to access, and we've put it directly into the Libguide for you. And this is also very important, the citations document. Now we've put all of the resources from the MLA 8 page here that will matter the most to you. One is the sample citation document. Not as important to you because the source that you're using already provides the citation. The other one that's very important for you is that you'll need to format your bibliography correctly, which means you need to alphabetize your sources, and that's not always as intuitive as you think. So this is 3 minutes very well spent to watch this video, and you can watch it right here. You can make it bigger,
so we have citations here,
etc.
but we need to format our page correctly.
Okay.
So the first thing we're
All right, that's pretty much what I did with the classes today.
and
And we need to make me stop talking. So we're going to go somewhere else.
In this case, it's a works cited. If it's a bibliography, you type the word bibliography. I'm going to highlight.
So that's pretty much what we went over in the class today, and I hope this is helpful for you. And if you have any questions, be sure to remember that you can text your research questions to the library at this number. Thanks.